Sometimes we have very satisfying endings in games, and sometimes it's kind of like, what is this? Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx, 5 ridiculous secret endings in recent games. Now, just as a quick warning up front, this is spoiler territory. Some of the stuff on this list is funny, some is confusing, but all of it is ending oriented, so keep that in mind as you move forward. At number 5 is Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. It's a secret ending that is ridiculous for entirely different reasons. It's not really that hard to pull off in any way, it's just completely nuts. To fully explain this one, you pretty much have to break down the entire story of the game, so I'll try to keep it short here. In the Cold War, you play a large portion of the game as a creative character who everyone just calls Bell. Through a convoluted series of events, you find out you're not actually who you think you are. You're a Soviet agent who's been brainwashed by the CIA to assist them in catching your former boss, a spy known only as Perseus. Got all that? So Perseus steals some nuclear codes and is planning to blow up half of Europe, Dr. Evil style, so the main characters interrogate your guy. At the end, you're given a crucial choice. You either tell them the truth about where Perseus is hiding, or you lie, and you lead them into a trap. There's actually a second step for the lie to work, though. You have to unlock a little side room in the safe house and secretly call Perseus before the mission, otherwise your team executes you when you get to the ambush site. If you manage to make the call, however, you get to play out a frankly surreal sequence where you team up with the bad guy of the game and gun down all your former allies, including Mason and Woods, 2 dudes who were the main characters in Black Ops 1 and 2. It ends with you killing your former commanding officer before pushing the button to set off the nukes. Yes, instead of attempting to avert and ultimately stopping a nuclear disaster, you instead cause it. Probably the weirdest thing about it is this kind of feels more like a real ending. It's more climactic than the standard ending. There's even a QTE knife fight in this one. Sure, you sided with the bad guys and set off a bunch of nuclear weapons, but the CIA guys, they were kind of total dicks. I mean, are the CIA guys ever not total dicks? You ever seen any time where the CIA was actually good? Question mark. As far as Call of Duty endings go, this is probably the craziest. And if you're willing to go down a fairly dark path, it's probably the most amusing out of all of them. One way or another, it's a totally wild ride. Nothing like any other Call of Duty ending. At number 4 is Cyberpunk 2077. Here's a big one. Before your assault on Arasaka at the end of Cyberpunk 2077, normally you'd get at most 4 options for how you want to deal with them. There's the default option where you work with Hanako, one where you get Rogue's help, and one where you get Panam's help, then the one where you just end it without even trying. All of the above options you can select before the final mission, but what if you just don't do anything? Yet there's actually a secret 5th option. If you don't select anything at all during the final mission, Johnny will offer you his own idea about what you should do, and this doesn't pop up after a few seconds or anything. You have to sit and wait for like 5 minutes before he'll speak up. So there's basically no way you're going to see it by accident, so to speak. There's other requirements too. You have to complete some of Johnny's side jobs and more importantly get your relationship with him to 70, but yeah, it's there. Oh, by the way, bet you didn't even know there was a relationship meter or anything, right? It's actually this main quest thing on the select screen. You hover over it and it'll tell exactly how high or low your friendship is with Johnny. If you got everything set up properly, actually the ending is still no joke. Instead of getting help to take down Arasaka, you go in on this one-man suicide mission. Saving is totally disabled for the entire ending sequence, so if you die, that's it. You start before the final choice. And yes, you will have to wait the 5 minutes again. So you better go in prepared if you want to stand a chance of pulling any of this off. As far as secret endings go, it's both ridiculously secret and ridiculously hard, to the point of maybe like confusing as well as like mechanically difficult. So it definitely deserves a spot on this list. At number 3 is Persona 5 Royale. It's truly ridiculous, might I add. The original Persona 5 was a massive game. It could easily take a person around 100 hours to finish, but Royale, it's even bigger, and the cruel twist is it contains an entirely new secret ending. Now remember, the original game had a true ending that you could only unlock if you hold firm during the interrogation sequence near the end. Doing that extended the gameplay significantly. The new ending in Persona 5 Royale is both harder to unlock, while at the same time extends the game even more than that. This one's especially ridiculous if you've played the original. You get to play through this already massive game again, all while performing some pretty arcane steps if you actually want to see the new content, which includes an entirely changed third semester. The main thing you have to do is max out your social link with the new teacher character added to Persona 5 Royale. No, he does not seem important to the events at all, and no self-respecting student would make friends with a teacher like this guy, but still, you're gonna miss out on a lot of stuff if you don't reach rank 9 with his Arcana by November 17th. If you haven't played the game, that sounds insane, but trust me, there is actually more than that too. To see everything in the true ending, you have to reach max rank with Goro Akechi, as well as reach at least rank 5 with the new party member Kasumi. Yeah, there is a lot of new stuff in Persona 5 Royale, and a lot of it makes the game just worth returning to, even if you've already played the original version. But the true ending is definitely the star of that show and is a lot. For me, the kind of ridiculous aspect of it, though, is that it's in the second release of the game, and it's like hidden behind secrets that are hidden behind secrets that are hidden behind secrets. At number 2 is Hades. Hades is all about dying and trying again. It's sort of a roguelike. It's obviously an action RPG as well. You play as the son of Hades as he attempts to escape from the underworld. Like, as far as dying goes, the theme is kind of baked in. And it really works well with the procedural storytelling that it does. Like, Hades is really an innovative game on top of, like, just a refined action RPG combat system that Supergiant Games just is known for at this point. But to get the true ending of the game, you have to take the theme to heart. Defeating Hades and escaping the underworld isn't enough. If you want to see the credits, you have to do a complete run and defeat Hades 10 times. Thankfully, you don't have to do it like all in a row or anything, but still, beating the game once is pretty challenging, and asking players to do it 9 more times on top of that is, let's call it a big ask. A hell of a big ask, to make a slight pun. It's still a great game, at least, and just saying how to get this ending doesn't really tell you what makes it so interesting. So, I mean, to be fair, this isn't like a massively spoiler one. This is one of those games where you really need to play it yourself to get everything you're going to get out of it. It's not something I can just tell you about. It's a very different game, while also being very familiar in a lot of ways. Supergiant, like I said, just absolute masters of development at this point. And the way they execute everything, that is why this is an interesting game. And playing it 10 times is actually, though ridiculous, worth it. And finally, at number 1, Crash Bandicoot 4. We have mentioned some ridiculous secret endings on this list, but this is the first where we're just gonna straight up recommend not bothering with this. The requirements for actually unlocking the secret endings in Crash 4 are so time consuming and ridiculously difficult that it is not worth trying to get. And if you don't believe me, you will see what I'm talking about soon enough. There's actually 2 endings to unlock in Crash 4. One is for 100% completion, and one is for 106% completion. To unlock the first, you pretty much have to be a masochist, and to unlock the second, I don't know what's wrong with you. I'm not gonna try. I am not qualified to diagnose, but there's something rolling around up in the brain that you need to have checked. So how do you get 100% completion? Well, you have to get all 6 gems in every level. That means you have to beat every level in the game without dying 3 times and smash every crate in that level. That doesn't sound so bad, but many levels hide crates in some truly sadistic places, so trying to get all of them the first time through a level is basically impossible, and in many cases actually is impossible unless you very closely follow a guide. You also have to get every gem in the inverted levels, which are alternate versions of, every stage in the game, with some weird graphical gimmicks. On top of basically doubling your playtime getting all this stuff, some of these levels make it really difficult to find all the crates. Just because sometimes the garish color filters they slap on these stages are just like, I don't know what to do. And you also have to finish all of the secret flashback tapes, which you only get in certain levels, and you get them by not dying. This is all just for the first secret ending. Also, the second secret ending? Much worse. Much worse. To get 106% completion, you have to get all of the platinum time trial relics, which requires you to get through a stage as fast as humanly possible. The time limits on these are ridiculously tight, so getting all these is an ordeal on their own, but that is not all that you have to do here. You have to also get all of the insanely perfect relics, which means you have to beat every level in the game and break every crate without dying once. Do all that, you get a very short sequence, which shows the bad guy from Crash 3 is still alive. Ooh. Like, we needed a teaser to know they were going to make a Crash 5? What's the point of rebooting a series like this unless you can do that? Of course you're making Crash 5. You did a great job with Crash 4, guys. It's a great game. So, look it up on YouTube. There's no reason. No reason. Don't invest the time. It is pain, pure pain, all of it. Like I said, Crash Bandicoot is a friggin' great game otherwise, but to get these secret endings, it's just awful. These are our most ridiculous endings, and it's not for good reasons. Did you get any of these endings? Leave us a comment, let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now is a good time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. The best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription. So click subscribe. Do not forget to click the notification bell. And as always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter @FalconTheHero. And we'll see you next time right here on gameranx.